Chapter 1, Reborn. You are listening at FameTV.com. Chapter 1, Reborn. On the colossal Saint Ancestral Mountain Range, sunlight shined through the gap between the mountains into the deep canyons. On the hillside beside the valley, some snow remained. Even though it's already the early summer, the snow has yet to melt. The cold here is exceptionally long. The roars of beasts can occasionally be heard. On the surface of the valley stood a magnificent city. The world outside of the Saint Ancestral Mountains has been occupied by the beasts. The people living in the mountain range have not contacted the outside world for hundreds of years. The people who live in the city are unsure of the situation of the outside world. It's been recorded that at the most glorious period of mankind, having thousands of legend rank fighters and demon spiritualists, the humans established many empires in the vast continent, but those empires have been wiped out. The city, due to being stealthily located geographically, was well preserved from the Age of Darkness. They would occasionally encounter attacks from powerful snow-wind beasts within the Saint Ancestral Mountains. However, after going through numerous devastating conflicts, the city was rebuilt again and again. These motley walls were an indomitable monument. This city is called Glory City, and it is a symbol of hope for humanity. Holy Orchid Institute. Fighter apprentice class. Over 30 students are sitting down and are awaiting to listen to the female teacher as she imparts her knowledge. The students are a bunch of fighter apprentices. They are Glory City's Holy Orchid Institute students. I heard that the new teacher, Xuanhuan, is one of the Sacred Family's 3-star silver rank demon spiritualists. A few students were discussing softly among themselves. The attention of the students was focused on the teacher. She had a tall figure, was wearing a lavender dress that wrapped tightly against her body, giving an emphasis of her perky chest. She had a pair of slender, white legs, and wore exquisite makeup that made her look beautiful and elegant. Her eyes were full of pride and arrogance. The Sacred Family is one of the 3 major families of Glory City. Because she is of noble birth, and a 3-star silver rank demon spiritualist, she naturally has the capital to be prideful. As a 3-star silver rank demon spiritualist, she wouldn't normally come here to teach. She only agreed to because her nephew is in this class. Demon spiritualists and fighters have 5 different ranks, which are Bronze, Silver, Gold, Black Gold, and Legend rank. Each rank is then divided into 5 levels, from 1-star to 5-star. A demon spiritualist is above a fighter. We are a truly noble existence. A demon spiritualist can form a soul realm within their dantian. They have the ability to integrate a captured demon into their soul realm and then merge with the demon in combat. This allows them to possess matchless strength, which is far above the strength fighters could compete with. Xuanhuan raised her chin and spoke arrogantly, just like me, my demon is a scarlet flame fox. Suddenly, Xuanhuan's face and hands underwent drastic changes. Her facial shape became sharper, her teeth and nails also became sharper. Finally, a scarlet tail emerged from her back. After merging with a demon, I can control its strength as well as gain fire-type abilities. Among the demons, the Scarlet Flame Fox is a gold rank beast. This means that the highest level I can reach is gold rank demon spiritualist. Of course, after becoming a gold rank demon spiritualist, I can replace it with a more powerful demon. When it came to her cultivation, the pride on Xuanhuan's face became thicker. Xuanhuan's words caused a group of students to be amazed. Gold rank demon spiritualists are existences beyond the reach for most of them. As Xuanhuan continued lecturing on the stage, Nieli was sitting in the back row. His mind was in a trance as his soul floated around. After a while, Nieli slowly opened his eyes. He couldn't help being confused by the scene in front of him. Where am I? Nieli quietly asked himself. He was utterly shocked as he realized that his hands became smaller and his skin became a lot more tender. Xuanhuan was on the stage, talking non-stop. Nieli clearly remembered that this was the year he joined the institute. The teacher lecturing was a 3-star silver rank demon spiritualist and was extremely arrogant. Because of her, Nieli was unwilling to learn for quite some time. I was actually reborn. Nieli was deeply shocked. He remembered being surrounded and attacked by the Sage Emperor and 6 deity-rank beasts and died in the battle. It seems his soul was reborn to the time when he was 13 years old. Nieli looked towards the side and saw familiar faces. Lu Piao and Du Zhe. These brothers that had shared life and death with him are alive, except their appearances were very immature. And her, Nieli looked towards the left. A few meters away from him, a beautiful flawless face came into his field of vision. Her name is Yi Ziyun. Although her appearance is only 13.14 years old, she already looked slender and elegant with purple-colored hair pouring down to her waist. She had arched eyebrows, and an intelligent radiance was seen within her eyes. Whenever she smiled, she would have deep dimples. Although she looked a little childish, Nieli knows that, when she grows up a bit more, she will be extremely beautiful and enchanting. She wore a silk white dress that gave her a kind of unspeakable elegance. In his previous life, Nieli had a deep affection for her ever since he was a teen. She's not dead. Nieli was extremely excited to the point that he almost choked. I actually went back in time, is this real? Not a dream. Nieli asked himself as he severely pinched himself. The clear pain told him that this wasn't a dream. Suddenly he thought of something. The Temporal Demon Spirit Book. It must have been the Temporal Demon Spirit Book. Nieli lowered his head and immediately searched for it, but could not find the Temporal Demon Spirit Book. Nieli could not believe that his rebirth, this mysterious phenomenon that happened to him, was not related to the mysterious Temporal Demon Spirit Book. That Temporal Demon Spirit Book's creator was not known. It's a highly mysterious book that Nieli always kept with him. He clearly remembered, when he was fighting the Sage Emperor and the 6 deity-rank beasts, that his blood had thoroughly covered the book. It must have been the Temporal Demon Spirit Book that brought him back to when he was only 13. After seeing all these familiar faces, Nieli drifted into his distant memory. He remembered when Glory City was under the assault of the snow-wind beasts. Glory City's guardian, Lord Dmo, who was a legend-rank demon spiritualist, died in the battle with the beasts among hundreds of thousands of people. Only a few thousand survived and fled to the desert, east of the Saint Ancestral Mountain Range. During the escape, one survivor after another died in the desert. One day, they were surrounded by the beasts in the desert. Later that night, Nieli and Yi Ziyun sought the comfort of each other's soul. That night, Nieli had finally embraced the goddess in his heart with his arms. Under the night sky, the silver moonlight became a hazy veil. Yi Ziyun's exquisite physique, with her crystal-clear skin that looked as though she was molded from a jade sculpture. They embraced each other with a mad passion. If it wasn't for the destruction of Glory City, and for the dreadful escape, he could never have gotten the favor of Yi Ziyun. He had ridiculously low talent and was from a declining family. After that night, they encountered another group of beasts and in order to protect him, Yi Ziyun died by the hands of one of the beasts. Nieli could never forget that moment. After he experienced the life-threatening attacks, Nieli survived and walked out of the endless desert. Although his talent was low, his survival instincts allowed Nieli to travel throughout the divine continent. He came across many people who were fighting the beasts. He also came across many mysterious things, and of course that Temporal Demon Spirit Book. If it wasn't for the book, Nieli wouldn't have been able to come back. That mysterious Temporal Demon Spirit Book actually brought him back through time. He was brought back to before Glory City's destruction. Before his parents, family and brothers' death in the battle. Before Yi Ziyun's death in the escape. Since I'm back, the heavens have given me another chance. I will not let the destruction of Glory City happen again. Nieli said under his breath, gritting his teeth. He firmly made his decision. He vaguely remembers that he should have just enrolled into the institute this year and he should be 13 years old. Nieli wanted to laugh happily, I'm back, how nice. Sage Emperor, the next time we meet, I'll slaughter you, and avenge my previous life. If it wasn't for the destruction of Glory City, him and Yi Ziyun would be from 2 different worlds. It wouldn't be possible for them to be together. Yi Ziyun was the daughter of Glory City's city lord, not to mention that her grandfather is the legend-ranked demon spiritualist. Nieli was from a family who was powerless, and was declining. Both of them, in the midst of escape, built up deep feelings for each other. When Yi Ziyun entered the school, no one in class knew her identity. Nieli only found out about her identity later. Within Glory City, there are three major families: the Divine Family, the Sacred Family, and the Snow Wind Family. They represented the supreme power of Glory City, the pinnacle of the noble families. The city lord was usually chosen from one of these three families. After the three major families were the 7 noble families, and after them were the 12 aristocratic families. Nieli belonged to the Heavenly Marks family, which stood at last place of the aristocratic families. Although they have a little status, there is an astronomical difference in status when compared to the 3 major families and the 7 noble families. With Nieli's background, wanting to be with Yi Ziyun was simply impossible. But, with a firmness that flashed across Nieli's eyes, since he was reborn, is all this of still an issue? Although his foundation is currently poor, with the vast knowledge from his previous life, improving his talent isn't impossible. Nieli, what are you smiling at? Lu Piao asked, looking puzzled at Nieli. He was wondering if he has crazy, since he was giggling by himself for quite some time and was even staring at Yi Ziyun with a lecherous look. Just being happy. I'm happy to see you, good brother. Nieli stated as he excitedly hugged Lu Piao. It's a habit from his previous life. After being ridiculously hugged by Nieli, Lu Piao muttered angrily, Oi, Nieli. Who's your good brother, you gaylord? Quickly, release me. Lu Piao struggled. They've just started school not long ago. They were only acquainted for only a few days. They were not close enough for this level of intimacy. Nieli didn't loosen his hug. He looked at Lu Piao seriously and chuckled, no matter what you're thinking, in my heart, you're always my good brother. Naturally Nieli couldn't tell Lu Piao the life and death adventures from his previous life. Looking at Nieli's gaze, Lu Piao was stunned and couldn't help saying, weirdo. However, no matter what, the words Nieli said previously made him feel moved. Lu Piao looked at Nieli and said, I know you're one of the nobility in Glory City, but let me warn you. Do not have any ideas for that girl. Her identity is extremely mysterious. I heard that when she joined the institute the principal personally arranged her dorm. Nieli slightly grinned. Lu Piao still doesn't know Yi Ziyun's identity, which he already knew. She's my woman. Nieli declared, looking at the beautiful long-haired girl not far away. His heart was exceptionally firm as he thought of that night's passion. Nieli couldn't help feeling hot in his heart. Nieli suddenly remembered, he and Yi Ziyun are still only 13. Ziyun, when will you grow up to become that beautiful, enchanting woman? I shall protect you and we will grow up together. Not far away, Yi Ziyun felt something. She turned her head and looked towards Nieli. She gently wrinkled her brows, and thought that Nieli must be a playful noble. Since the start of class, he has been unrestrainedly looking at her. If he dares to provoke her, she'll not let him off easy. Yi Ziyun didn't want to make use her status to make friends, but that doesn't mean that she'll submit to humiliation when being bullied. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.com, direct link in the description.